What up, everybody? It's good to see everybody again. And by everybody, I mean that camera, and that camera, and that camera. Hi, everybody. It's me, Tyler Tafolla from In the Round with Tyler Tafolla. I'm your host with the most. And if you come to lunch, you get a roast. It's me, Tyler Tafolla. Welcome back. We're so excited to have you guys here. Joining me, as always, my co-host, my partner in crime, and that girl who's feeling a little blue, but only in her hair. It's Anna Duchi. I'm on a roll today. I've got so much energy. And where do you think that's from, Anna?
Probably our sponsor.
Probably our sponsor indeed, Verb Energy Bars. Folks, click that link in our bio and our Instagram. You get $13 off your first sample of Verb Energy Bars. They're pretty darn good. Try them out for us. Awesome. We got an awesome show today, everybody. We have a pretty sweet interview with Rhinehart Brothers, who they're a couple of brothers who have written a new musical, which is pretty awesome, called Tanner Maverick's Book of Sound. I saw it. We'll talk about that later. But we want to get right into our topic today, which is writing musicals and writing stuff. So Anna, go ahead. Yeah, take it away. Let's rock it out.
Well, you have a lot of experience in writing shows, don't you?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit of experience.
I wrote a little show called Wicked, and I want to publish my book. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I've done a couple of shows. Got a few under my belt, and I continue to write. So yes, I was very excited to talk about this topic with these brothers because they remind me very much of a young and hopeful me. But it's awesome because they, the fact that they wrote all of this during the pandemic. Mm-hmm. Just a little, to recap some stuff that will come. They wrote the show during the pandemic. They rehearsed it with a bunch of friends in a park and put up this show, and it's awesome to see, and I tell this in the interview. It's it's exciting to see young people who have such a fun and awesome group and such a good community around them supporting them.
Yeah,
I think that's important for any new artist who is starting off.
A very talented community as well.
Yeah,
some great voices in there.
It's nice to have talented people around you.
Yeah.
There's a quote from Lin-Manuel Miranda. He said surround yourself with the smartest people in the room. Mm-hmm. People who are smarter than you, because that was one of the biggest things. Because I wrote this show, Scott Robbins in the Traveling Show. Oh, made it come off it's fine. I'm gonna make it a bit. Wrote this show my senior year of college. We workshopped it, and yeah, it was constant showing it to people who I thought were smarter than me, and had a lot of experience and a lot of history and talent to know how to help me with this, because when you've never written something like that, you're like, help. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, we were talking about this on the way in. It's just it's exciting to see it's the idea of something you've grown up listening to, or you've grown up watching, a Disney movie or maybe a musical you love. The fact that is something that was written by a human,
yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's exciting to think that the thing that you may have grown up listening to and had inspired you, especially with some Disney movies. It's every girl wants to be Belle or Ariel or one of those who these really strong and inspirational characters. That's cool that it was it was thought up by a person. That's cool.
Did any specific writers influence you, or did you have any favorites growing up?
Just I don't know. My book, by the way. This guy for sure. Stephen Schwartz wrote Godspell, Wicked, Pippin, bunch of shows. He wrote Prince of Egypt. Helps with music on Hunchback of Notre Dame and Pocahontas. Won a bunch of awards. He's incredible. But yeah, read this book if you haven't read it before. Defying Gravity. It's one of my favorite books. Just the way he breaks down a musical and what, you know, what should always be a part of a musical. You should always know like what your character wants right off the bat. You should always like there should never be how do I put this? Like there should never be questions for an audience to like, unless it's like a mystery or something like. But there should never be questions to an audience of like what's going on.
Yeah.
Because most of the time musicals like people are just hearing these songs for the first time, so the lyrics have to be super clear.
Yeah.
And not as vague as you like with a lot of pop songs or contemporary stuff. You can listen to it a bunch of times and hear new things that you may not have heard before and be like, oh, I picked up on this cool lyric thing that actually has a deeper meaning. But like with a musical, it's like, I gotta know exactly what you want right now because we gotta go. we got a show to do.
Well, that's why they call it an I Want song.
Yeah. And that's like, that's kind of been like more known in a general sense now because of like, Howard Ashman and Al Menken, who wrote a lot of the Disney Renaissance musicals. So that includes like Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, some Aladdin. So all those kind of movie musicals. But they made it so clear and obvious right off the bat. Like Ariel sits on a rock and tells the audience exactly what she wants. She wants to be human. She wants to be part of that world. It's like we know, and now we can keep going. So that's that's like it's those kind of rules that you want to always make sure that when you're writing, you want to like make sure the audience is totally clear on what the goal is of the show. Ariel wants this. There's the arc, and she's hopefully going to get it by the end of it. It's like that is It's the fun stuff. It's the fun stuff for writers to be like, I see it all connect. So it's cool. But yeah, we'll talk about this a little bit more after our interview we're going to go to right now with the Rhinehart Brothers. They are really awesome. They're super talented, and they've got a super awesome future ahead of them. Check out our interview. Take it away, Tyler.
Thank you, Tyler. All right, everybody. It's time. We got some heavy hitters in the hot seat today. They're brothers. They got cool hair. And they've written a musical, you guys. They've written a full-blown musical that they have premiered. It's called Tanner Maverick's Book of Sound. It's really good. I saw it. It's rad. They're going to come out with an album very soon. And we will be talking about all of that right now. Give it up for Izaiah and Wyatt Rhinehart.
I walked a coastal road. I walked it on my own. Where I stood as one. When I
Tell us a little bit about how you guys got into music and writing together.
Well, we've always been playing music ever since we were kids, and just try to accumulate skill on as many instruments as possible.
Yeah. So basically we just always wanted to write a musical together because we've been doing shows together. We've been so involved in theater, and we were just kind of like, hey, I could do that. I could write that.
Oh, absolutely.
And
and then we were still kind of pursuing it to this day, and like obviously with the musical and stuff like that. Like I'm in college for music and jazz piano, and Wyatt's going off to Berkeley.
I'm going to Berkeley College of Music. I deferred a semester, but I'm going in January. Very excited.
That's so exciting for both of you. That's awesome. And especially with this show, it's like it's got a super awesome rad punk rock vibe to it with its sound and all of that stuff. And I think I told you guys, it's like, listening to this music, I was like, that brought me back to high school. So you guys absolutely did your research, and tell us a little bit like what you grew up listening to and how that inspired you.
When we had this idea for the punk rock genre, we were like, oh yeah, I got to bring in some All-American Rejects. I got to bring in some of those Green Day vibes, some of that All Time Low, just kind of that early 2000s, in 90s a little bit, that punk, just energy. It feels very, very indicative of a generation who's kind of just wanting to be heard and wanting to be shown the way and shown what the correct way is. And also in that breaking free of the old ways and the old ways that don't quite work anymore. Every new generation, I like to think, can find something in this show. And I feel like the punk rock genre was a pretty good way to show that.
The show is called Tanner Maverick's Book of Sound. And the story follows two brothers, one of them that's 9 years older than the other one. And the older one eventually dies without the younger one really getting the chance to really know the older one super well. So he grows up, he finds a box of the older brother's stuff, and he finds this book of songs that the older brother had written. And through these songs, through these lyrics, and as he's playing them, he's getting the chance to meet that brother for the first time and then develop a relationship with someone who's already gone.
That's so beautiful. Jeez. I was like, that was really good. Yeah. What kind of got you inspired to write something like this in this specific story?
A couple things actually. Like we're brothers, and so we really related to that sort of thing. I kind of first had the idea for the show back in 2019. Our friend Davikas Van Ziel, who wrote the lyrics for one of the songs in the show, he actually wrote that song way back in 2019, and I heard it, and I was like, that song, I could know everything about his story through that one song. I would know everything about his struggles, his anxieties, like how he's able to overcome him, what his inspirations are, and like and the things he struggles with and the things he struggles through, you know? And so that's something that I couldn't stop thinking about, was like, I could know everything about him just from this song. So I took that idea and I kind of just crafted it into like the outline for everything. And then Izaiah and I filled it in together.
Absolutely. And you know, I had written the instrumentation for that song because Davikas came to me with these lyrics. It made sense for Wyatt and I to just fill in the blanks and write the rest, you know?
That's really cool. I love hearing stories of when, you know, the initial development and stuff.
Well, our kind of process is just like, we go at the song or our personal songs. Like most of the songs in the show are written by either Izaiah and I, and a couple of them we wrote together. Most of them are like, we just write the song and we throw everything at it we can on our own. And then we come together and we're like, hey bro, does this suck?
There were a lot of those moments of like, is this a terrible thing? It's definitely an interesting, concept trying to, write together when you're so close like that.
For scenes and such, we would write those together mostly.
Yes, mostly.
And then, the story, the outline was kind of like, that was kind of just me on my own for that first like week of inspiration, was just the outline. And then
just flying out of your pen, you're like, I gotta get this out. Yeah.
That first outline that was written like late 2019, that's changed so much. And that is, it's a skeleton. It's a ghost of what the show is now.
You wrote it throughout all of, the pandemic time when we're not doing anything, and you're like, let's write this, let's finish this up. Like, what was that like? Yeah.
I mean, it was really helpful for me. I wouldn't probably not have been able to contribute as much as I did to this project and really get the chance to like, work on it in like an equal fashion with you. Like if I was still in school and or I was in school, but like drive to school and be focused so much on campus, being at home, actually, it gave me the opportunity for both of us to work together, and that was great. That was awesome.
It's like, it's crazy serendipity how it all turned out. That's awesome. Are you, and like while you're doing it, you're saying you're sharing it with each other? Are you sharing it with like other people just to get an outside perspective, or is?
So we had Davikas, who wrote Enough, the song kind of sparked it. He was kind of served as our editor through this. So he would sit in on writing sessions and just kind of like observe and like offer like, and we would like be like, okay, like, is this good? Is this whatever? Because we're brothers and we think probably very similarly. Just having an outside perspective was good.
It was very helpful. Awesome. It really actually created a really good dynamic between all of us. But yeah,
that's awesome. So for those of you who are just watching this, they premiered the show this year. Went to watch it. I'm wearing the mask the whole show, but most of the time I'm like, the whole time, because it's just crazy like I was telling you guys the other night, it's just like it's so awesome seeing, you know, first off, you guys are, you know, still, you know, super young, but the fact that you were able to, you know, collaborate with all these other people and plan all this so much ahead of time. And it's like you guys, you know, you were doing rehearsals like during this whole summer, pretty much, right?
We had rehearsals this last summer just in a park.
Yeah.
Because that's what we could do. And so we did it and we made it work.
We probably got approached by like 2 to 3 people every rehearsal. Like, what is going on here?
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, every single time. It was very.
We had children
funny.
being like, "What is this?" We had church groups being like, "Let's pray for you guys." We had like just random stuff like that.
Gosh, that's awesome.
It was insane. I can't tell you how many soccer balls were kicked into the middle of one of our dances.
Glad nobody tripped.
Yeah. Totally. Make it part of your choreography and just,
Oh, you know, just kick it out of there.
Yeah, totally. That's awesome. Yeah, how many cast members were there? Really talented cast, by the way. So good.
Yeah, we had 16 cast members of like amazing people just from around San Diego, all youth performers. We had a couple, like 2 or 3 that were over 18, but still like very talented young performers.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What was it like for them? Like, because a lot of them you guys knew, you know, a lot of them are probably, you know, friends from doing stuff. Like, what was their reaction like seeing this finish for the first time and like reading these? Like, what was that like?
Well, after doing a, you know, preliminary read through a couple months before casting them, you know, like I think some of them were actually involved in that read through, so they got the chance to like, oh, okay, this is the kind of story we're trying to tell, you know. So by the time we were casting it, by the time that we're rehearsing, by the time we're pulling it together to actually make this show happen, I think it was a bit of a surprise, you know, to where the show ended up and like the emotional impact it kind of had. Like even from the beginning, you know, we were always engaged. Like, and the cast was so engaged, and I was so proud of that. But I was just so floored by their effort they put into it, you know. And I think they feel proud of what they created as well.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and you know, I think these characters have a little bit of them in them now, you know, because they've originated them.
With any original cast, like you've worked with an original work before, you've written an original show before, so you know what it's like to like have sort of the actors help you sort of shape the characters, and to be that first layer of showing this creation to the world, it really is filtered through them and how they perceive it. And from now on, we're going to record this cast album. Anybody who plays these roles is going to listen to this original cast. And I feel like that's something really special for all of our actors that they haven't gotten the chance to do, and probably will get the chance to do further in their lives, but haven't yet. And it's a special thing for them.
Totally. That's awesome. Tell me a little bit about, now you're recording this cast album for this first production. Tell me how that process has been.
So we recorded, let me travel back a little bit. We recorded the entire show right here in this room. Like the music for the show and the tracks that we used in the actual performance, we recorded it right here in this room. And
gotcha. Yeah.
All the guitars, we have a piano, a keyboard right over there. We got a drum set over there. So we just played everything right here, and we have a little recording software on this computer that you're on right now.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm in it. I'm in the system.
We're in it right now. No, yeah. And then we just recorded everything. And so that's honestly, it's the same sort of energy when recording the cast album. We set up 2 mattresses to be kind of our like sound booth, so like there's no like sound getting in, there's no echo or anything, and we just like put
you make it work. I love that.
You know what? You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah,
exactly.
Studios are expensive, bro.
The people need to hear this. Yeah. So you're recording the cast that you did the show with now. They're going to be on this and everything.
Absolutely.
That's really cool.
Of course, we have layer upon layer of just like the original songs that just Wyatt and my voices, you know.
Yeah, no.
Right.
All the demos.
All the demos. They're yeah.
The ensemble members is just like it's 2 people from the show, and then just you guys duplicated
spread out and everywhere.
Well, actually, for my college wildcard audition, I used a song from the show, but I sang every single part.
It was very
and I had like a 6-part harmony, and so I had the screen split into like, I think 12 parts, because there was the 6 harmonies and then there was the 6 instruments that were playing as well.
Oh my God.
So like I had that was my wild card audition for college. It's crazy.
Yeah. Kill it. No, that's like, that's when you're a writer, you can use your stuff for auditions. Don't yeah. Yeah, definitely done that before. That's awesome. When is this album coming out in the soon to be future?
I'm not going to say a specific date quite yet. We do have it coming out. It should be, near the end of September.
Okay.
It should be on its way.
When September ends. Anyway.
Boom. Hello Negator, who was there? Drop a comment below. Yeah, we were there. This is I think it's a really important piece, and you guys touched about this a little bit. Can you tell us a little bit of the reaction from the audience when you guys, because I went that last show and just like, hearing people, you guys have talked about this, like hearing people's stories and like how they were, impacted by this in such an important way. Like, tell us a little bit about that and how that was like.
It was definitely an interesting moment, kind of experiencing how people took it, because, it was positive, but I think Wyatt and I were both, we knew it had a lot of impact and we knew it had a lot to say, but then having people say stuff like, you've made me feel things that I haven't felt in years, stuff that I've pushed away, like from both, an older generation and a younger generation, like having that spread across those different ages, it was remarkable to hear as a creator to know.
And someone who approached the writing process wanting to reach every generation. And that was kind of like the tagline for the show. It was like a new musical for every generation. For a while, it might not be, it's probably going to change, but for a while that was the tagline. And so to have that kind of come to fruition and like have like 16-year-olds like feeling it and then telling us their story, and then like 70-year-olds, like I walk away from the 16-year-old and I run into a 70-year-old and he tells me how this has brought him like peace, and like seeing these characters and the way they sort of have their journey all together, it reminds him of his life and the things he's done wrong and how he can improve moving forward. There's a lot in it, and it brings up a lot in people. And
I was pleased to communicate kind of some of that with the younger generation as well, because I wanted to make sure we were representing, if you weren't there, you didn't see the show, we touch a lot on mental health, and just like the kind of the struggles that we go through, and something that was really gratifying for me is that I was told multiple times that we touched on mental health in a very beautiful and very honoring way,
which is something I was so worried about.
Yeah. Well,
and it's honestly, obviously, I feel that the show's not quite perfect yet in touching those topics in a perfect way, but so we're going to be improving it. But to have that baseline of like, yeah, we're on the right track with addressing these issues is satisfying and really inspiring to hear that we can move forward, and we're able to move forward with strength and with sort of the ability to make change in people.
Totally. It's got so much heart in it, and it, especially having, the cast and the group that you guys had and all of that, it was so like, it was inspiring to me to see like, the next generation talk about things that I'm thinking about and that people older than me are thinking about, and all of the struggles that these characters go through. It's like everyone has gone through that, and I think you hit it out of the park as far as like your intent to make it accessible for every generation. I think that's awesome, and I applaud you, and can't wait to see what else you guys do. It's gonna be awesome. Real quick, if you want to shout out where people can find you and any social media, hit them with it. Go for it.
Awesome. So we are on Instagram at Tanner Maverick Musical on Instagram, and we are personal tags. I'm Wyatt _Rhinehart. Isaiah is Izaiah Rhinehart. His is a lot easier to remember. On TikTok, we are at the Rhinehart Brothers, and yeah, you can find clips from our show on all of our social media. And then you
can also find ways to contact us on the rhinehartbrothers.com. It's our, general kind of place. I think there's still some things up from the show up there, but
Yeah, and then we'll be posting information about the cast album and the release dates and where you can stream that from. So that's very exciting.
Coming soon. Coming
guys,
soon.
Get hyped for it.
Yes. I'm excited. I was telling you guys, I told you the other night, I was like, I'm ready to like blast this out of my car, top down, like let's, it's going to be awesome.
Go. Yeah.
Last thing I want to leave with, since I saw you at Hella Mega Tour, your favorite Green Day song, go.
Oh,
That's such a hard
question. Okay.
I will say this. I have a very smart answer.
Go for it.
Jesus of Suburbia, because it's like 6 songs stuck together.
No, I respect that. I was going to say When I Come Around, but that
song's a really good song. That would be my second. Yeah.
Oh,
there's
so good. Wow, what a beautiful experience that was. All right, what about you, Tyler?
Oh, don't do that to me.
No, hey, you did it to us.
Right. Let's see. Either When September Ends, because that hits home for me, or jeez, Saint Jimmy just jammed.
It's so good. Oh,
goes man. So
hard. Yeah.
It was a good feeling.
They're so freaking good. Yeah, we'll have a whole episode where we can just talk about Green Day. Come back on. We'll talk about Green Day one of these days. All right. Thank you guys so much. We're gonna end this interview with a clip from their show. Enjoy. Follow them. All right. Check it out. Awesome. Thanks so much, you guys. That was Tanner Maverick's Book of Sound, new musical. They have an album dropping later this year. Stay tuned. Follow them on Instagram and TikTok, all the places. You'll stay up to date there. Yeah, super awesome, super talented guys. We wanted to talk a little bit more, too, because it's cool that, like, you can write a musical now pretty much about anything, and it be any style and be any genre. That was not always the case up until Hair in the 70s. Musicals sounded like dun 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 the whole time. Wells Fargo wagon, and love me some Music Man, love me some Golden Age stuff. But it is cool that we that just over the years the palette has grown, has expanded to do music that is contemporary, there's rock, there's folk, there's a bunch of stuff. We were joking about this earlier. There's there's 10 different Cinderellas, but then and all of them have a different specific style. You're saying the Andrew Lloyd Webber one that's coming out.
Yeah, it just opened recently in the UK.
Yeah.
And that music is awesome. And the costumes, beautiful. But just the production value and everything. But it's so funny because you can hear, at least to me in the music, it's such an Andrew Lloyd Webber musical.
Yeah. It's cool when you start to hear this is the style of this, composer. It's you can always tell what's a Sondheim musical and what is,
Lin-Manuel
Miranda.
Yeah, it's very recognizable.
Yeah, and it becomes a genre in itself almost, which is cool. Yeah, you hear that's from a Disney movie, and then when it's not, you're like, wait, what? And you're like, it's still Alan Menken, but it's not Disney. And you're like, oh, well, cool. So that's always it's fun to hear especially with Andrew Lloyd Webber. It's he's done so many Same but different styles. Because he's done like Angel Lloyd Webber, Jesus Christ Superstar, Phantom of the Opera, School of Rock. Oh, I'm blanking. Aida? No, I'm sorry, Evita. Switch the two. But yeah, it's all different but similar, and it's like it's cool to like hear it in his style, which is cool. We were talking earlier. It's like there's about like so many Cinderellas. There's that one. There's a Disney one. There's a Rodgers and Hammerstein one, which is like if you grew up watching like Whitney Houston and Brandy, that was that one. Which also has a different sound from the original version of Rodgers and Hammerstein to the Whitney Houston one. It's like totally different styles.
And the revival that just was a few years ago.
Yeah, and that's the thing too with like revivals of musicals. Like
they changed a few of the songs.
Yeah, you can change arrangements of songs to make them sound fuller. Like the original version of Your Good Man Charlie Brown sounds way different than the revival of Your Good Man Charlie Brown. Like. They're both cool, so it's like that's exciting stuff. Okay, so we are going to be playing a game soon, and I think we're going to pause right now for a commercial break so I can prep for this said game. All right, here we go. Check it out.
Embrace your power. Feel the energy coursing through you. Become a Sith Lord. Verb energy. May not be suitable for Jedi.
All right, guys, welcome back. We are going to jump right into our game with Tyler. You want to tell us the name of our game?
Yes, hello everybody. This is a game we like to call What Are You Writing?
So I have some words written down here for Tyler, and I am going to give him 3 random ones, and he is going to write a song and have to include all 3 of those words in it on the spot. He has not seen this list.
I have not.
Are you ready?
I guess.
Alrighty. 3 words. Ready?
Yeah.
Bikini.
Gosh darn it.
Loofah. And cats.
Oh, jeez. Okay. All right, let's rock and roll. Is bikini, loofah, and cats. Here we go. I was 7 years old, and I just went to summer camp. That's right. I was 7 years old, and we had to use the community bathrooms. I was nervous about using the community bathrooms, so I wore my bikini in the shower. And then I took a little shower with my loofah in the shower. Took a little shower with my loofah. Oh no. What happened? What happened then? There was a cat in the cabin. Oh no, I'm allergic to cats. There was a stray cat in my cabin. What did I do? I ran out of there. I ran out of the community bathroom in my bikini. It was a short little shower 'cause I was chased by a cat. And then I threw something at him. Do you know what I threw? Threw my loofah. Don't go to summer camp.
Fantastic, Tyler.
Don't patronize me with that, okay? Oh, man. Yeah, that was pretty bad. If you couldn't imagine, it's based on a true story. Don't go to camp, kids. Nah, give me. Let's do
Ready
some
for another
more.
one?
I ain't doing anything.
All right. All right. Scarecrow.
Oh, jeez. Oh.
Avenue. And brouhaha.
Brouhaha?
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me a definition?
I can. It means.
Can you look it up for me? Let's see. Scarecrow. What was it? Scarecrow.
Avenue.
Okay.
And brouhaha means a noisy and oversighted reaction or response to something.
Okay. Here we go. Scarecrow Avenue brouhaha. That's so good. Okay. Look at that poor man. Head is down. Isn't moving and his arms open wide for someone to hug. But no one gives him a hug. 'Cause he's a scarecrow. Sits in the field all day. Just looking for someone to play. Wondering what to do. So he gets off that pole. Walks down the avenue. Scarecrow's walking. But no one wants to talk to a scarecrow. No one's talking to the scarecrow. And then one day, the scarecrow made a friend. It was a little cat. He said, "Hey, I just came from a campsite and was wondering, do you wanna be friends with a cat from a campsite?" And the scarecrow said, "Yes." As we walk down the avenue, we'll make some friends here on the avenue. Who lives here? Well, there's Bertha. She lives second floor's up in the scaffolding. She sits there on the fire escape. She dreams of a better life. What did you do, Bertha, to get you here? You just need some friends like a scarecrow and a cat from a campsite. You could throw us a party. It's gonna be your 28th birthday, Bertha. We'll all laugh, ha ha. We'll have ourselves a brew, ha ha. We'll have ourselves a brew, ha ha. And if you were wondering, yeah, I hate myself too.
That was fantastic.
Yeah. Okay.
And you're looping them all together, so
This
fantastic.
is musical theater writing. It's a story, and now
there's an arc.
There's an arc. We start off at camp. We go into our
We go down
plot.
the avenue.
We go down the avenue,
Yes.
and now we're gonna wrap it all up.
Okay.
With
You ready for 3 more?
You bet your you bet your bottom dollar I'm ready.
All right. Plethora.
Gosh darn it.
Silver. And Beetlejuice.
Okay. Plethora.
Mm-hmm.
Silver.
Mm-hmm.
And Beetlejuice.
Yes.
Plethora, Silver, and Beetlejuice. It's Christmas time on the avenue. Silver bells are ringing. You know what to do. After the brouhahas, we have a Christmas brouhaha. We're gonna invite everyone. The cat, the scarecrow, and Bertha. And even the kid who ran away from camp. That's me. Yeah, hi, I've been our narrator this whole time. My name's Derek. It's been a crazy couple of years, but let me tell you, with friends like mine, oh, you can do anything. You know what? My friends all pitched in this year. They got me some tickets to a Broadway show. Do you know what it was? It was Beetlejuice. Oh, it was Beetlejuice. Oh. But the sad part was, do you know what year it was when I got them? It was March of 2020. Oh no, what are we going to do? I've waited in my room for another year, wondering, what am I gonna do? Then I think to myself, I'm gonna put on my own show. And it's gonna be called Fly Juice. It's called Fly Juice, not Beetlejuice, cause copyright integrity is a thing. It's called Fly Juice, not Beetlejuice. And you know who's in it? Everybody! Like the Scarecrow, and the cat, and Bertha, who's 29 now, cause it's a whole other year. It's called Fly Juice. Merry Christmas. Yeah. I'd like to thank all the little people who got me here, like that fly who's been buzzing around this whole time. Yeah, performing isn't just my life, Anna, it's my whole life, so let's just remember that and keep that in perspective when we're, deciding where to put our money and, in entertainment and all of that. Just remember, Fly Juice. It's gonna be big. Talk about that on What the Podcast next week. Okay. Well, I think that's all I got in me for that game. Thank you, Anna, for those beautiful words. Hey, everybody. I took off my jacket because you didn't. Jacket and a guitar is too much. I think that's it for our episode this week. Thank you guys so much for everything. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Wyatt and Izaiah Rhinehart. You guys are the real deal, and I can't wait to see what you guys do as you continue on to college and beyond. It's going to be awesome. Just remember the little people who wrote Fly Juice when you make it big. Guys, the arts is a place to create and tell stories and enjoy the company of each other and have some laughs and gaffs. And we hope you stick around and be with us for the ride. You can follow us on Instagram at In The Round with Tyler Tafolla, as well as Facebook. And we are... In the Round with Tyler Tafolla there, as well as YouTube. We have new episodes every other Saturday, premiering at 6. You guys are great. Bye! Oh, and we'll see you around. Bye! Ba-da-bow! 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 Ba-da-bow!